Chat with Friends. Dumelang. We are back again. Kitumisho lebelo. Lebohang situmo. Edgar Ledwaba. I'm back, guys. Nigelo hobote man. I missed this chair. You know, last time we were here. Gebetile Potul, by the way. Ledwaba, you were not.
I wasn't there.
The last time we recorded, man, it was a great day. Recorder. Rabeta di pothole, I'm better pothole way, or I missed the next episode, but it was great, man, to see you guys still going on. Leshapoma.
Yeah, Rashabo. No, last time you were definitely missed. It was a bit different having a guest. The first time we have a guest on a friend of the podcast on the show. Yeah. Well, he's our friend, so yeah, I think he did justice. But definitely your presence was missed because of Lena Hatsena. Naibuzo otlo bolela confident kante a batla camera. I don't know. Atomo na shy. You know, he doesn't want to admit it, but he was shy. Yeah. He's not shy, but camera to shy. So after the podcast over nah, but I should have done that. I'm like, that's how it goes, dude. Like relax. Yeah, you only get better as you go with it, but it reminded me of our first episode.
Sure.
Yeah, so nervous, you know. Anxiety, but I think I'm easing into it. So when a guest comes, I know how to kind of guide that person because it's a universal thing.
And most of the time, beating. That's how it goes. Request. I think I easy guys. Ever since I talk about chat with friends, I think it's achieving the goal because the goal community and everyone wants to come on the platform and talk. So I think it's good we had someone and then I will take a stage fright.
Where
do you think? Do you still get those requests?
Yeah, no, for sure. Every time but was a kopele like it no, mawaza for you. Like it's serious, but under it's mawaza na
podcasting role like why are going to roha batho for eng so re nna ke tlo ke tla go ke tlhango teng jo ke tlhamo ke tlile go bolela mawaza fela yeah, so guys, we appreciate the engagement, but when you do come here what about take stage fright go botsa maka don't care how confident you are what take stage unless you try in the industry. Mara shem. Yeah, it's tough
but I think the last time we like last time when we went to event one of our friends, our boys Kachenoa, you hit the pothole.
Yeah.
And we share local or wetile pothole. And Nagola Rea, Stakola, Weta pothole, Awalela, or cost their day in Elaine. Something Lindaganum Gavetaki pothole. Now it's waiting a while. For the
I rebuke that.
No, but I think it just highlights South Africa.
No, it's true.
Was I personal? If it happens to you, we'll probably have a statistic or out of 3 people. So far,
in the same
out
year.
Of 3 people in the same year.
In 1 year.
But in less than 3 months. I've been no much fell and I said pothole. And funny enough, we're in different areas.
Sure.
When we go more chat, when we take a quicker stop. So you can it just shows you it's not just an area situation.
It's a state of our nation.
Yeah.
You know, and it needs to be addressed.
No,
I hit 2 tires. When I hit one. I hit 2 tires. Here, how many cars were parked?
There was one car that was parked before. Raibeta, Herbeto, Huatla Gulingwe, Yabeta, 2 tires, Huatla Tiguani, Dama, you know, but anyway, Lena Daram literally was big enough, but Abata Potula one. Daramra Confunela was coming, Barafuna level, DJ or whatever, Tusa, and Daramo, Rafun's cousin, one of your cousins to come and just give us.
What are we without friends? Because again, if I didn't have friends,
yeah.
That's why I think we chat with friends.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much to Wanababa subscribing because it makes sense or why we build this community.
Yeah.
What are we without friends? I think the next time wouldn't it be nice more commenting or agents leg? IBM platform on your own.
Yeah.
You know? Think about it. The platform is so open that people don't wait for the episode or to say
Yeah.
that the network actually works.
Or to even report
Across
it.
the
Or
board.
to even report it for people to be aware.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, hey guys, be careful of this pothole in this area until it's fixed. Just be aware of
I
it.
never thought our podcast Darna is a solution to South Africa. This is the first time no, wait, why?
Yeah.
I never thought there were such things would happen where we are a solution to the few, like, 100 people babaling the subscribers are on.
Yeah.
Those are people that we are solutions to them.
Yeah.
Can we see ourselves as
Yeah.
solutions? Are we
Yeah.
effective to each other? Or if we come pointing our age, Keshota 6. I be mole, Okaremoto Amoromele 6, Arega Kawate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine.
Yeah.
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 South Africa is better like our failure.
No, it's true.
Zakaya how?
True.
Yeah, Zakaya. That would be nice.
No, no.
In terms of a friend's perspective.
No,
I don't know. But I mean, maybe
But also on the portal thing,
It's a
like,
perfect world, I don't know.
there's a claims process ya government and about how and
Sure.
I found out about it after Nakabetile portal, but I didn't pursue it much because
You didn't need the money.
no. Of course I need the money.
Okay.
I got pursue it because I got collector information. I think I feel like
Is it agent?
Riti
If it's
Sibat.
agent, please answer.
Yeah, I got to get agent when you offer us something on that. Mara. Eriki team so focus on more podcasting. So, and the claims process is actually very easy, guys.
Okay.
It's actually very easy, man. And then so it requires if I remember that form correctly.
Oh yeah.
You need to have pictures of where you hit the. Okay, you obviously need the location. You need pictures. You need, if such we replace the hooters how we need either cost, the sleepy, it's actually a very simple process. I can't explain how you know, but I think I don't know. Wait to get link. And then it's got a time frame as well. It must happen was it 15 days?
Yeah.
15 working days
Of the incident.
the incident, right?
Okay.
So when I found out about the process, I think Negele Mozatsin Labu 5, 6. I had time to do it, but really, Negele busy, got nice time.
So must you report it within a certain days? Because now you're saying 6 days.
There is a 15-day working day period.
Yeah.
Okay. From the day of the incident.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think people must know about this.
Okay. No,
and when I looked, I was in the 6th day when I found out about it.
Yeah.
I filled in the forms and stuff, but I got caught up in my own stuff and I was like, I'm letting it go. Mara, having looked at it, Nakwela, it's not a very tedious process.
No, it's not.
So mense kopela litsi hore direng e hoka ira, try and gather as much information about Potolo Betileng, the location. If you can take pictures. If understand that if to replace it how keep the proof of payments the replacement and stuff. That process and after mo katomo for they've been through that. And they're like no should if you've compiled all that information they actually do reimburse you. So I didn't pursue it at the time. I tried, I filled in the forms and everything, and then I was left with like 2 days. Eventually like waiting keep easy got the drinks ke lokisitse pothole ke tla di bona wa bona mara no next time ke a itse nka betha pothole tshwantse ke collect information I think one of the important thing is snap ke wa bona mara sometimes you can stay snap me bra worry the safety how whatever wa bona so yeah but people must know about this. We must actually get the exact maybe people can just.
I actually downloaded the form.
Is it?
Yeah, I did that. Because from where?
Yeah.
So now I'm picking up you two. You got the form.
Yeah.
You got the form.
Sure.
But he mentioned why he didn't finalize it.
Sure.
What was your reason?
My cost so minimal. Now give it the potholes
Yeah.
Then found out that my tire actually punch. My tires were not damaged. The rims were.
Oh.
So because get not close to my melody. Majitama hango bolela di rimi tsele.
Yeah.
I think nearly 300 or what. And I receipt.
So hona le Sandra le go Mamelodi. Oh, I want a receipt.
Madam, I get around because you have to put in claim the receipt. So no if following wala ka letso inging mo pampiring because they don't even have tabaya invoice situation. One professionalism your business I want. But at the same time, I don't have a bling ban 2 seats. So I was like, Yeah.
Yeah.
So I couldn't, because of the paperwork that was needed from the receipt. I was like, man, it's
so
just,
minimal,
about
minimal cost,
$1,000 or whatever.
$1,000. So,
Okay.
okay. My cost was about 2.8.
Because of the tire, yeah. Na betile
Yeah,
rim ya
Yeah,
kamare.
because replace the tire he replaced like it was like 1,002 or something like that, and then bafaka le khute the balancing,
Yeah,
and all that stuff. I think it's spendile boma 2.6.
2.6.
Boma 2.6. Yeah, I would have liked to claim it, but I ran out of time, and then the sticky piece out man ki look seats, and you know,
And
yeah,
drinks
so
no.
yeah,
No,
so I was like,
100%.
guys,
If
but
you-
next time, but
yeah.
by it's hurry,
No.
you cannot claim
Yeah.
for damage at the pothole.
No, if you also experience the pothole yourself, just let us know so that we can educate each other, so we can also know what happens. No, like maybe someone. No, sanga batha pothole na, so I don't know
No,
about this
someone
process.
not 20.
Yeah,
Two out of 3 people.
I think okay,
Yeah,
but
but replace the matter.
Or business about tire.
no, it's a process thing. If I
Yeah.
happen to be in that situation,
No, you're not simple.
at least I can know how to
No,
navigate.
the process is very simple.
And I would like to know from the public, Hore, it's not one-sided. Like it's like everyone is basically saying this is a very effective process. You know what I mean?
It's not
It will be
tedious,
nice.
it's
Yeah, it
very-
will be nice to know from others as well.
Yeah.
You know. But man, I haven't seen you guys in some time. How you been?
Man.
Yeah, what you've been up to?
Work, man.
Yeah,
Work. Spani.
yeah,
I think situation ya bophelo now.
Yeah.
At a certain age, you just want to build up.
yeah.
Okay.
So that when the time comes or retire, you've got something. Like now, all level age group here now where we are.
Mm.
It's actually not about Zaga ya Kacheko, ya Kosan. You're actually trying to build or actually when I get to a certain age, do I have something to live off?
Yeah.
So now it's like it's a hustle, man. It's a hustle. So just hustling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But work has been going good. You good?
I'm good. Spanic is Spanish. There's good days and bad days.
Yeah.
But I've got the greatest job out there. I meet people for a living.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
all about getting money from people's pockets into your own. It's interesting what's in it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
nice,
you meet people and I think it was amalebatu. Like even now, man. End of the day, what are we without people?
I hear you. I hear
You
you.
know.
I hear you.
Yeah.
When how's what have you been up to and how are you?
I'm okay, I guess, man. Spanish fashion, as I mentioned last time around, it's Gela. So ke thomile vieka di academics tsaka.
How's it going?
It's the second week. Shit, ke na le bo ma 4 years ke sa kelezi.
Yeah.
So ke rusty blind.
Yeah.
We had our first class 2 weeks ago. I go pole sela ke tsolo batho ba bolla ka ba reng ko sekolong pila jo. E tsolo ka lecture le bolla mawaza. But anyway, yeah, and then I had a second class.
Is it online or do you?
It's online. So like
Yeah.
after work, dog, after work I have to log on between 5 and 8:30
Yes.
for my schooling. So it's after work is an extra 3.5 hours. So I've had 4 classes now. The first class was just dog, I couldn't figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
I was all over the
It's like
place.
orientation all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the lecturers and these people are trained, they know it's adult. Like so they know.
know.
So the first lessons, it's more easing you into it, introducing you to all the other people that are
Oh, so you
online.
can see other your.
Yeah. It's a Zoom
Do you
class.
see any nice ladies?
Yeah, it's a Zoom class and everything.
Any nice students?
There are some nice ladies. Eh?
Eh?
No level.
Ah, Johnny
Ore, na wala mawa.
and then neka Tuesday neka panya Monday wa teng o ka re neke hlabile ne tshwere ke bhabi
Listen.
so ke mara pila skolo sambo mara we njo like ho bela skela ke tishina shape ke tsereng for the same
No,
wa bona?
congrats.
So that was the first week. The second week we had another 2 classes no ke feel ka re ke thomo ba vibe nya skela man wa bona? So yeah ke yona ntho ke nya go e pusha for no yeah
No, but
Ah,
that's good.
sharp.
Are you studying to apply education, or is it for self, like building yourself? Why are you?
no ke for new I won't even lie. Yeah, like institution expand mo yona. I asked around hore I mean like no, at this age dog at the age of 40 you're not starting to do your passion or in no get go nya go secure when you go secure chele. Even the course I chose ke butsisitse machita go spanning machita ke re wa 50 if ke nya go ipona ke ena zakekana nka tshunang.
Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins.
Mjita amputsa hore me bra. At the moment, lefatshe le direction is so. One sware. And ke botsa ka o tshelo re e manager yona direct go like mo round mo ke le mo teng. Amputsa re study sha ke short course, it's a 12-month course, a se degree a se engeng. Study sha direng lefatshe le da. Wa bona, so I feel le batho ba spana man butsi if nna no ke taba tsa hore motho a enerza ke sharp. Wa bona ya hore
so you focus on security.
The reason why I give I listen a lot more these YouTube channels and stuff.
Yeah.
Where these guys self-made millionaires or billionaires and what would you have done differently? Actually, I should have went to school. You know,
yeah.
I hear a lot of that. And no, when you've got education, nothing can take anywhere away from you. Then there's a middle point. Patela the student loans for years.
Yeah.
Especially, no, man, I went to this degree cost me what, and I still don't have the perfect job. So I think it's an interesting take. I actually asked in my industry
for Zage.
I think that's the most direct answer because I didn't need to go to school.
I think vice period in my life.
Yeah.
At some in your 20s, I think you're studying maybe because the dream star like after Skela. Maybe study something or get hokai level like it toro tsa batswadi ba encourage or ira LLB ira eng ke ditoro tsa bona, and then you get to a like honzo hola, you start to know who at some point in your campaign, like in the later stages of your life.
Yeah.
Wena we tsing hore no ke naka nyungu or aksa enjoy ho ya spanning every day ke nako wa bona. So passion how we discover how fetso discover a passion how then so no matter I feel like Zage man, like
No,
Secure
personally I feel like azanka tshwara Zage nchi mo phelong baka.
Wena come go with thing.
Azanka tshwara Zage bye. It's
Zage
relative. We actually at a camp this other time go Swaziland go bushfire. And we were talking, we're having chats like this. The most money I've ever had in my account. That man was like, oh, Edgar. Like what have you been doing all this time? Like the most money I've had at a certain time account. Even now when I think about it, I get that personal because even though I've never had a lot, I'm content. Like life like comfortable. You know, I'm a 9 to 5. Salary guy azanke anjigela halfway.
But interesting thing, Moto was already Evan, what have you been doing your entire life?
Yeah.
But you were at the very same camp, drinking the same drinks, listening to the same music. You're not bushfire. What I'm saying is that the different perspective can be are we both content? Like I think that what I'm saying is that your contentment is what counts.
No, for sure.
Because whatever that money could do, even if Damana 3 million, 3 million can't take. Still got him to bushfire, just like you. Enjoyment. You probably maybe even enjoyed knowing you.
There's so many perspectives to that. Anyway. It's a topic we need to discuss. Sure. I actually want to talk about like the experience here, Swaziland bushfire one day, and the social aspect it has to how people treat each other in a certain space.
Sure.
We can let's talk about it as a topic one day. It's interesting, like the camping thing where you in a setup where you can't see a financial status ya motho, you can't ahona motho apering diaparo tse des ahona motho dikoloi like go camping like di transit ta a witty title la motho a little so one day we must talk about how we must talk about what that does, like when there's no material involved, where there's no status involved.
Sure.
There's so much love and respect.
It actually reminds me of school.
Yeah.
Now, I think if there's one thing I get at especially high school.
Yeah.
Uniform.
You understand?
So, like,
yeah.
And even set up your scale.
Yeah.
Even those rich
driver. Nothing.
Like,
and the way we treat each other in those type of settings is something more life in revisit.
I think we need
like
go to the core of humanity.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
Like
no.
I think the next coming episode
it's something we must talk
we're gonna talk about that. Yeah.
Environment.
For sure.
For sure. Sorry about that, gents. I just quickly had to disappear.
Yeah.
We are drinking beers here, so I was pressed.
Too much info. But they are
I was pressed.
So no, 6ix9ine.
And I had
Kapela
to-
bjana, o tlapile
No,
matsoho.
no, yeah,
no,
Captain
no.
Matsoela. I had to quickly think about her. I need to be back on. But yeah, man. So you good. So you good.
I am good.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. That's
Re
great.
ka botsa wena, o shota wena, what's up?
No, man.
Sifuna ukwazi.
Yeah,
Tell us,
no,
that's
man.
what.
For me, just in short, I think this year so far it's been absolutely a discovery. You know what I mean? I think the podcast is bringing other elements that I need to discover about myself and evolve as well. You know what I mean? But in the midst of that, I think I told you guys last week that if I could rate my year, I would say it's like a 4 out of 10. And I told you because of the challenges and other things. And I told you also, I think on episode 2, that I'm also working on another project as well. So I've been taking you guys on a journey, but not really exposing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So now I can finally bring to your attention to say that my project that I was working on was a book. You know what I mean? I was writing a book. So
Big ups to that.
yeah, to myself as well. Thank you.
Big
I
ups
see you
to
guys. So yeah, so I would. So it was a tough journey. It was a lonely journey. It was very lonely. It was sometimes finances nerisatlagani. Sometimes you have to go to work on a petrol ya spanning. Sometimes was stuck motiling. And when you look at your and sometimes it's just ukupala batho zaga. Sometimes I don't have that in me, like to say Ejo kupala ungari 200 ka speed. I feel like I'm inconveniencing someone, you know what I mean? Unless maybe I've got the relationship with Muto. So yeah, man, sometimes it was tough. Was stuck motiling. And then you could have had that money to fix it, but now because of you, we let it more projecting and as well the podcast as well, you know what I mean? So you're trying to invest in other things except material things. We always get busy by renovating a house or buying something or fixing a car, that you don't actually focus on yourself. You know what I mean? So I took an intentional decision this year, regardless what I've been thinking in the past or what I've been doing in the past, to say try something for yourself.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I think from a young age I always dreamt about writing a book. I just didn't know what to write about.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So now I think sometime late last year, and then I decided, no, let's put pen to paper. But I must say also shout out to my publisher, my Being in Word. She's been with me through the journey. She's been with me through the process. Her and her team. So it was tough. But if it wasn't for my publisher to always encourage me, I don't think I would have gotten to this point. You know what I mean? So yeah, guys, this is a book. It's called From Popular to Pariah. Let me just take this out. From Popular to Pariah. Life in the Shadow of My Corporate Bully. So basically this book, it just talks about corporate bullying, and it talks about how the toll it takes on your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're experiencing or when you're going through that. So I'll have more details about it when I prepare for my launch. In terms of, what I hope to achieve in this book. But I just had to write about my experiences. And I hope that this experience that I've put in here can help you to know that you're going through it and to seek healing before it's too late. Because it can spiral of control.
Interesting. You were never bullied at primary school or high school. Who would have thought or motola bully was at a later stage, Oh, nah, no, right. Kale, mamang never mo bully. Your life is interesting, or life
Yeah.
You think you've went over something, and so man, big ups to you, man.
No, I'm.
That's why my teacher write English. Teacher, even though we're not in the same school, you always reference your English teachers. So roto bona ka nnete or lebza spelling sa o etsalang mo bukeng. Now we regular or ke khono bona or ka mo bukeng.
Go check out that spelling.
Yeah, ke bona already past tense, present tense, now no le verb adjective.
Yeah.
So your school fees is very key. Yeah.
No, but I hope as well you also see the story as well, because I think you would know me. You said something that's actually in the book. I don't want to say what it is, but I was like, you know what, you're rewriting this book now, so
no pressure.
So it shows how much he knows me. It shows how much he knows me. But when you read the book and when you refer back to the podcast, you will see that he picked it up before reading it. By the way, no one has read this book. By the way,
fresh
so
copy.
it's a fresh copy. I got it on Thursday, this past Thursday. So I'm very excited, man. I'm very excited. So I'm glad that I've got this monkey out of my bag because of finally now I can focus on putting the book out there and also focus on myself as well. Because of it's taking a toll on me, like in terms of sometimes I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling dude, it's been a journey. But yeah, I don't want to get into it too much. But yeah, I will let you guys know the details about this book, where you can get it, and how much the book will be. But for now, this is the book, and I want to carry on with the show.
Okay.
So yeah, man.
So no, on my side, I must congratulate
yeah,
Dylan Yoralaga.
yeah.
This is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
This is
no. Thank you so much.
Too much
Thank you so
congratulations,
much.
Dylan Yoralaga.
Thank you so much.
Learners Majita ke itse motho a ngwadileng buka me, but I feel like I'm in the presence of greatness, you know.
And I think in what you're saying, I really want to thank the platform of Be a Chat with Friends. The audience, you guys have been encouraging us. The team here, when we come together, it has given me a sense of also something when I'm feeling down, I can look forward to the podcast. You know what I mean? So throughout the journey, the podcast has been really amazing. So you know, I want to thank this platform a lot, and to the people that have subscribed, people that have commented. Thank you so much. You guys have given me inspiration as well. So I just want to thank you for that. And also what we're doing, man. You know what I mean?
I'm curious about the word pariah. What does it mean, pariah?
So
like
no, thank you for that question. Thank you for that question, actually. So from popular to pariah, so it's the opposite of being popular. You know what I mean?
Oh, pariah and popular.
Yeah, again popular. You become an outcast, you become a villain, you become you pushed aside.
Like parasite, like par, we par. Ever we par,
maybe we parasite. Yeah, but I don't think this is what. I don't think pariah is parasite.
No.
No. I think it's the opposite of popular.
Yeah, it's like you're villain now. Like you it's like a hero and now you're a villain. Basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. No, if I suddenly para,
or not even a villain. You're made out to be a villain when you're not a villain, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, from
pariah.
popular to pariah. So
right there, the cover is beautiful, man.
Yeah. Oh,
I love the cover.
You love the cover.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's
you love
beautiful.
it.
It's beautiful.
You love it. You love it. No,
so people can identify.
No.
Amara, I think it's a good thing. Between the three of us, we're like about to regulate diesel, Gucci,
Seriously?
Dubai. Dubai.
Salara bulata batzeo.
No, it's not Salara bulela, ne? But I'm saying between the three of us, we can probably pinpoint moto betilen 10 block or rockets, or a regular diaparo tsa boma 50,000, 60,000.
Yeah.
But few of us have people that have documented in their lives or
no, I feel privileged. I feel privileged to
man,
someone in my circle
No.
Smart.
And you did mention when we have the launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Not your body outfit.
100%, guys. You know, as I was this week, I was engaging with someone this week, and as we were talking, then it hit me, Hore, dating, right?
Yeah.
Do we make it complicated as people? Because come over to jola, and the next thing but to after 2 months ago, or after a year, like, you know, you find that you could be dating like 10 people in the same year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But not obviously in the same time, but you find that you're going through. And I'm just wondering why people maybe like after like 2 years, after dating, it's common to us, or no, those people have broken up. It's like we were expecting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, it's very rare. And my friend said that before we actually on a call. Before we actually started, one of my friend calls me and he said that, will I be on content? Hopefully I'm not on content, but I'm gonna put him on content. You know what I mean? So congratulations to the brother. You know what I mean? I just don't want to mention his name, but
okay.
But then he said that he's no longer single. What do you mean you're no longer single? I don't know. The guy is so I don't know. Home Affairs doesn't recognize me as single. Now it doesn't recognize me as single. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So he's there. But you find that now, you know, it's like expected, I'm gonna break up, we're gonna break up, or we're gonna, like, people don't actually have a sustainable, healthy relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And why is that though? Is that, do we as people make relationships complicated? Or do we make Majolo complicated? Or why can't we just find the right person and just try to build something? I guess if you guys are getting my question.
Mjolo lona Jonah le popular to paraya nyana like
Yeah, you're right. Popular to Paraya. It's the perfect definition.
yeah Mjolo lona Jo
Ashiwe volume 2. Mojolo.
ona le paraya nyana Mjolo. No, I
good
get
angle.
guys Mjolo akina go too much. Mjolo is not for everyone, man.
Hey man, serious?
Yeah, that relationship is not for everyone. Your opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
But man, personally,
About Julie.
No, to about Jole. He like where myself feel hori. Feeling about more relationship being I'm busy. Oh what?
Well, is it a matter of now? Is it
Go better 6
end
9
of it?
yeah.
No, I think dating is important. Why would you be more motivating like if 2 is better than 1? Like wherever like Jolo or Lenyalo, whatever it is. It's simple. There are people that are in relationships because you have fun. As a couple, you love having fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what the existence of your relationship makes sense.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that the recipe.
Yeah.
I think I've realized one thing.
What is it?
Jolo, the relationship.
Yeah.
The recipe at chocolate cake. You look at a recipe, chocolate cake. Or flour inge. When ho tsore o rata di seafood le lebella recipe ya seafood. It's amazing dilo tsa go metsi. Tsamayo tia di tlhapi o ira. But we looking at all of this is all cuisine. But re lebelletse di recipe tsa batho ba bang trying to make something out of unya go ira recipe ya motho le with the wrong recipe.
Do you feel that's what you've been doing as well?
I think I've been figuring it out.
You've been figuring out.
Yeah. This thing. It doesn't make me right, but I think people are successful at relationships for different reasons.
Yeah.
And I think once you start appreciating the principles, what makes things successful. First of all, if you travel.
So now you said that you've been figuring it out. Have you figured it out now, or are you still figuring it out?
It's a journey. I think everyone goes on life by figure out. Like we wanna be high. I mean, I'm not a professor in this subject.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I've known you for decades now.
Sure.
And I'm just thinking, we've actually been dating a lot, you and I. Like
you guys have been dating,
not each other.
Why some boots?
Not each other, but I remember when you got your first girlfriend in primary school, you know what I mean? When you got another girlfriend in primary school, when you got but what I'm trying to say is that even in tertiary and myself as well, and what I'm trying to say is that I think I'm speaking with confidence saying that you and I have been both influencing each other in a right way, right? But we've been influencing other in a right way, ne? But you find we still I personally still miss right, you're still looking for miss right, you're still defining what miss right is, and then but either way you're still open to dating and trying it out, and it keeps on maybe just going a separate way. And I'm just trying to figure out do we make things complicated? Like how jola moto. Why does it have to be like you have to hurt another person? Or why does it have to end bad? I think generally relationships are in a mess. I think that's my opinion. You know what I mean? Next thing, I mean you can see when people are sometimes when they get divorced, they go through a toxic process of a divorce. You know what I mean? So I
think maybe I don't answer everything.
Yeah.
But I think the principle of life, there's something that is constant mobile pillow. One of them is change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And because we are always changing as individuals, it changes the whole game.
It changes the dynamic
of relationship.
Yeah.
But a lot of things that was
I was actually thinking about it the other day. Yeah.
How would this end? Like, how was your day? Like there was this guy can't think what happened. You guys were married, la divorce out of nowhere. You know what the guy said? In the morning, it was Pretoria half past 4. Kaboma past 5, I'm out of the house. I'm driving to Joburg. He ke boa late because ke tshwara ke traffic.
Yeah.
And constantly for years, msadi aga ke boa wa complain.
Yes,
And this guy is like, what's affecting me every day for these past years? It's the fact that I'm struggling with loads of traffic, before even Motoga Putsora, you okay.
Yeah.
And I will let the cause of divorce was just the thing, or Motoang understand then they don't care. And then no
Yeah.
So
But
I
we-
think to go to that, we constantly changing.
Yeah, no, that
And
let's see.
Motoa is constantly changing.
Yeah.
So hele change lily to Lamisana at some point.
Yeah.
I answer everything,
Yeah.
but those things
It's part
are
of it.
effects. So
Yeah.
what is
I-
keeping us,
I-
for as much as you're changing, what is keeping us balanced?
I hear you, ne? I just tend to I disagree when you're right, people are evolving, ne? However, I would disagree because of if now kind of king if now king was the
Oh,
yeah. So if now kind of king to evolve is something natural. You are gonna be different, right? But I think if I choose to be with someone and then I say I'm going to cheat on that person, right? Do I have to blame evolving? I still need to be intentional regardless whether I'm evolving or not. So I think we tend to make it complicated because we use external factors to make reasons why it's not working. So if you're with a person, you still need to choose to be faithful. You still need to choose to be intentional, regardless of the external factors, because you are going to evolve.
I don't think question was about cheating.
No, it's not about cheating. I'm just adding it on.
It's another thing.
Yeah, it's another thing.
another element.
Yeah,
We're not
but what I'm trying to say is that dating in general, does it become, because I'm just trying to understand why people just when they get together and then they say, hey, I'll never date again, or dating, it's bad, there's just this narrative that sometimes holds on social media, wherever you find dating is perceived or rather be alone, all of those things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the same breath, yes, there are relationships that are doing well, you know what I mean? But obviously now what's more relevant is more until later on.
Why is it again? What's complicated?
Okay.
I think we'll answer a question now. And from what I realized, what's complicated as a system, that's why I started with saying, if you identify what works for you guys, what's complicated as individuals? I feel like between your own issues, certain things get the principles. But if you don't identify that as a principle for yourself, and then over expectation from your partner, let's say, people get one complicate themselves are complicated. Only one, every day you have to be confident. Only one, feel great about yourself. Like that thing. Do I look fat in this outfit? That thing doesn't to make away now. Or why am I actually asking this thing? Or asking another person? If you feel or you look fat, do something about it. And unfortunately, to affect the partner, cause answer or you look fat. We have no problem again. Hey, I don't put I look fat. A lot of it has to do with you yourself. There's things there when I answer a boy, don't seek validation from the next person, because it becomes difficult in a relationship. When you get the answer the opposite, that's how I feel.
That's how you feel.
We are complicated.
Okay.
The system marriage, it's very simple, I think.
And I feel like, Joe, if you say on social media people are saying relationships, Chance, I feel like social media is the worst or the last place to measure reality. Social media is the last place you wanna measure anything. What people do and say on social media is totally different from bophelo ba nnete. If you're on social media, you're getting a vibe of relationship. It's not authentic. It's authentic. Me bara o di bona ho tlile mo di bras tsa hawe le ba nyetse ba mo relationship le promile la di game night le ba. That's why you see real relationships or hona di relationship hona le ko social media vele re tono beshwana. Ko social media vele ba emetse hore na lo measure ka di celebrity bo mama ba tlhalane. That's where we measure things. That's I think like that's the last place we need to measure things. Real life of it, there's couples you see all the time. Karaoke night on Thursdays. There's couples that get on stage. That's real. That's real life. That's stuff you see every day. You see these people I camp. When I go camping, I meet couples, proper couples, like young people in their 30s. They're proper couples. When they separate, and they tell about it, the reasons are clear. If you're gonna hear a story go Twitter because
blah blah blah.
There's real life. Social media, real life.
Okay.
If you wanna be authentic, measure dilo tse di ramo pilong. Or the measure ka dilo tse di bonang ka batho ba bonang every day. We understand. So that's the first part I wanted to address. But let's talk about Ferrari hore. In a relationship, let's say 5 years into a relationship, your partner goes through something that emo change as a person. One swara.
Yeah.
You no longer that person you met and fell in love with. Because the event or whatever happened changes this person. They're a different person now. I was actually thinking about it too, really. Because then from experience, where someone experiences something life changing, you either have to adjust to this new person.
Sure.
And the chances of, and I feel like that's why like the relationship potentially by in disarray. We struggle to adjust that to the kawate hanyana. I get wait to cause I get when I school. There's another disarray when it's kira assignment like disarray like what English. I get cause yeah. So as the partner, so you need to change now or adjust it to this new person you with. And I feel like generationally we struggle with that.
Okay.
And I feel like that's why the relationships are by the kawate.
Okay.
The story like it's 3 generations ago, great grandfathers. Neruta the story tsa like ngwana wa ka ya se ngwana ka hi mara ba ibethile under carpet o hudisitse ke like tseo ne re di itse khala wa bona. But imagine when that stuff happens now. Like like I feel like we just different generations are going to deal with yeah. I think rena is batho le rena re change it.
Do you think we're weaker as a generation? Man. Do you think more
not weaker, but
yeah,
so I wouldn't say weaker, but
liberated.
But there's more elements to things like when social media comes into play.
Sure.
Because someone picked up more social media like nowadays destroy from social so I feel like le broaden in such a way we're not weak at all, but we just have a lot of things that we have more challenges.
People are more influenced. I think
more influenced, more challenged. Yeah.
Now it come to
yeah.
I get you. I feel like because of how things have changed as well, a lot of people have more comments about your relationship.
Yeah, people have access to you.
But
access to it.
Like a lot of things are
yeah,
and you are almost vulnerable to the opinions about push your own agenda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No family secrets since
Sure. No.
No. One swar. No. Mo Facebook.
So
Tamasaudia Sharaka. Ansara. Wangalastea kale baby.
Yeah.
Mutu naka ujolla.
Yeah.
Like solo vale na madala side ya
Sure.
fela la tsola pele ka relationship.
No
me bra o kre hona le video le di photo.
E mona bile ba irile ka
yeah, trend.
Ba bontsha ba lo kwa no seng ko teng. Ba no le kra le
You're not weak at all, but that stuff will break you down.
Yeah,
break you down. No, it will break you down.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've become a weaker generation. I just feel like our challenges are a bit.
No, I think because of when we started the conversation, or that I was a bit misplaced. But I think now you guys are basically understanding what I was. So now now the question is that since and I think let go delay got the point now we exposed, we're more vulnerable, we are complicated. But I mean, what's the then wait for the or since or you're on your own. Like
so way forward. No, I think way forward at the end of the day is to establish the point of even now. How it's called beer chat with friends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The key part there, we kept the word friendship there, is a fundamental.
Yeah.
A fundamental of saying relationships are important. So
yeah.
Mojolo is important. Marriage is important.
Yeah, no, companionship is important.
So getting to that point there, the fundamental part is important. The fundamental part of why we are friends is key. We need to go back to the basics, to certain things. And none to saying is the word of God, Joe. I know a lot of people have bases on history and so forth. The biggest history that has helped me in my life, to say relationship is so important even to God, the creator of life. Number one, this is our 7th episode, right? If I look at 7 days, 7 days was its completion. Or it's fundamental, or Monday to Sunday, 7 days are completely big. It's one of the things that that reminds me to say that is the principle of how relationships should be. So resolve it, we need to go back to the importance of, am I better Giliwan? And I've answered that for myself. I don't think I can live isolated Giliwan. That's why I've got friends. Even in relationships, do you feel or sharp or raising one only one? If you can say nage sharp, I don't need any help. Use that as a fundamental or job. Get a person who can complement you to make things better. If then what's the point of being together? If you can do things only one. And a lot of women I know, there's nothing that differentiates me from a guy except the genitals or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're scorned backward or whatever it is. Hey, about disappointed. Now I appeal back to them to say, I still think there are people out there, good partners that can help you with the journey.
But the difference is the gender.
Yeah, we're not different.
And it's all over shell
I can do this.
Fast like okay, man, not like joke feel like I know manually it will differ from individual to individual, from people to people. Ne?
Sure.
Not personal, I feel like something like keep it build and like I must be a home, like not something keep a strong self, keep a bar self. You understand? Before nga fa a part of me to
true story.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because firstly, if na kill nyora ki itso, and then kina go itso type ya ka ke motho mo bjang.
Sure.
If ki type ya ka ke itso hore tshwantse ke be ke laishe ke be le new.
Sure.
Then it means I must be gonna go back. If kina ki itso re type ya ka ke na go build a family, kina go ranga must be tshwantse ke ithute like life nje hore a family man o tshwara bjang o irang. You understand? So I feel like I na solution direng I na manual. It will differ from person to person. Wena self before via o nyaka batho ba shela ikitse wena pele.
Okay.
You understand? And then o tlo khono itse hore go shela bo mang. You understand? Go shela bo mang, go shela kae, go irang. You understand? If a certain type of chick we ratang ba itseng ko mjive ngini ke batho nyaka new all the time. If wena o willing hore ne o tlo family allowance ngini, then it means sonto be le new.
Okay.
Spana mo tabeng ba le nyugo, then o tla mogola tsona di meditseo tsa nyaka nyugo. If o te nyakela medi e rural o nyaka ba family gentlenyana o te pushetse family ya hao. Build yourself up, o te prepare the situation eo o be busy ka yona. Montshware if o nyaka ba a bachelor itse hore ba bachelor ba hona lo ba lonely sometimes. Na at the moment ke feel ke bachelor nyana.
Okay.
You understand? Ke tswile mo relationship nyana for no I don't know isa le ke sa try ho ilwela nyana wa bona. Mara I'm learning now hore ba bachelor. Kalexa be bachelor then. But I'm learning now hore hona lo ba lonely. Like there's days where you like shit.
Emotionally lonely or physically lonely.
Both feeling your alaka. Both. Guess there last kana la re rejuvenate. Like one rejuvenate. You understand? So bad. I'm learning now hore ba.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I haven't been a bachelor in a long time because I'm relationshiping it. It's still in the balance. I don't know. I'm trying to save it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I find myself rejuvenating.
Yeah.
I find myself killing lonely sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes but there are days where you just wanna utivele media how.
Yeah, 100%.
Ulikele tswe, ulikele mna,
Yeah.
lite relaxetse, lite
Yeah.
heavele la, wabona.
Yeah.
So
I think-
experience all these things,
I
my
think
bro.
well said, man.
Figure out who you are. Figure out what you want, what you're gonna need to get
well
what
said.
you want.
Well said.
And once you figure that out, I think you're good to go.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
said.
Well, I understand.
I
Ah,
think,
well
yeah,
said.
no, I think,
Yeah.
no, I think, no, like, as far as did mention, no, well said, because you're right, you can't expect to make someone happy when you're not happy.
Wait,
no, it's
but
just not.
what does the saying go? You can't pour from an empty cup.
Empty cup.
Fill
Yeah,
yourself up,
yeah,
and
fill
you're
yourself
like,
up.
make yourself strong. Make
Make yourself
even
strong.
sharp way,
Yeah.
You can start going after what you need to go after.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
My 2 cents worth is that one thing I've learned is that you know, there are 2 important things in life for me, and one pastor once mentioned this, and I totally agree. Or it's the religion that you choose and the person that you choose to be part of your life. You know what I mean? So now all I can say is that take time to, if you're gonna date someone, let's go out, let's have fun. 2 minutes. But if you're gonna say you're gonna invest in this person, ira background check ya motho le motho ke motho mo sharp, from family sharp, family high, all of those things. Because I really think that sometimes, and the other reason why I pose this question is that sometimes relationship regress us to achieve more in life just because of wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then things change. Now you have to deal with this, you have to deal with that. Just because of this one person stepped into your life for 1 minute and almost for 5 minutes, and then you guys have been together for 5 years, but it just changed your whole direction. So I just think that take time to for someone to be in your space. Know that you are asking critical questions to yourself, and observe more, whether it's a female or whether it's a male.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's like, yeah. So I just think that and that's one of the ways we can actually prevent being with the wrong people and creating a more toxic environment for dating. You know, if you give yourself time,
Less toxic, I would.
less
Less
toxic. So yeah,
More
yeah.
toxic.
No, so
When
less
you got
toxic.
toxic,
No. Less toxic, because I feel like there's certain things that you can avoid. You know what I mean? If you really put your mind to it, 1, 2, 3. And then if you're looking for those, if you pose questions, you'll get the answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you pose questions, you'll get the answers. That's what I believe, you know. But then next thing, if I'm gonna go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, I'm gonna end up being what Edgar's saying. I'm gonna end up being messed up. I'm not working on myself. I'm not building myself. Therefore, I'm expecting a healthy relationship when I'm toxic myself.
Yeah.
So, and you haven't given yourself time to heal. Be honest with yourself. Give yourself time. Now that's my 2 cents worth. I think that's one of the ways how we can get back into that meaningful reason why we become together. Because remember, for me, I believe that if I'm going to be with someone, I need to make someone a better person than they were yesterday. For me personally, that's what I believe. So, what the builder or healer, and you become careful who comes into your circle, and you become strict about that, regardless of how other people feel. You owe it to yourself to just protect yourself. That's what I think. But anyway, let us know what you guys think as well about this topic. You know, because I feel like it's a broad, and obviously it's an engaging topic. But I think I still see a vision of just people, a man and a woman coming together, having kids, raising a beautiful family. I still believe in that vision. That's me. I still feel that together we can do more.
I guess we're controversial or what?
No, it's not one.
A man and a female come together and raising a family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, a man and a man, a woman and a woman.
Yeah.
The reason why I get included, I think I'm including it because you get to realize what people are seeking a relationship, like real things. Like the word relationship for me, the way it sounds, right? It will allow a real relationship. The word real.
Yeah.
People are seeking this authenticity more than anything. This is who I am, and this is what I'm about, and so forth. And people are even seeking that. Traditionally, it used to be a man to a woman, raise a family. Now it's men to men, women to women. Listen, pizza, him or her, what
Them,
you know,
yeah.
it will love them and all of that. I think essentially people are seeking this day. No one wants to be alone. The reason why I'm opening it up to say, oh, this is the real world now. We need to have a discussion. Comments is already important. Or how do we get to a point where people, get to a place where this is how I get the right partner? When people are seeking, the answer. People are hurting. People are committing suicide because of relationships. You are so right. But also a reason why people jump from relationship to relationship.
Yeah.
It's because they are seeking something, and the only way is for us to have conversations to say, or how do we get to a place where we can all get the right partners. That's thank you for initiating it. I mean, friends, some of your chat, comments is already talk. This is real.
Okay. No, 100%. No, I think and yes. Let us know, guys, or what you guys, your thoughts about this thing. I think it's a serious thing, and I think that we need to get, more engagement about it. But yeah, man, kind of king. I think on the 10th of between the 10th to the 15th, right?
April.
Yeah, April.
Okay.
Right, because of obviously after the podcast, after the book as well, I needed some time to gather myself together. So I've booked an appointment, right, with a psychologist, right?
Okay.
So I'll be also seeing just to check myself. You know what I mean? But you find that when I in society, like when you go and after I'm going to talk to a psychologist.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm asking? I don't know. Do you think amongst men in general, it's seen as a weaker thing as a man talking to a psychologist seeking help? Or do you think a man should not see a psychologist? Or what do you think about a man approaching a psychologist? I don't know. Like, I just want to know, because I feel myself, to answer my question, I feel like, men, we don't talk a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you are given a platform to talk, you choose a platform maybe that doesn't hear you out. You know what I mean? And therefore you can't express yourself and you bottle things in.
Yeah.
You know? So the reason why I think last time I saw a psychologist was in 2020.
Okay, but firstly, why do you feel the need to see a psychologist at the moment?
I feel like I'm not seeing the psychologist because of things are falling apart. But I also feel like it's not something that I need to see a psychologist when only things are falling apart.
Okay.
I also need to just see a psychologist to make sure that when I feel overwhelmed,
or
when I feel like no, I need someone to talk to. I think that platform is available as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But is it something that do you think as men, when we take that approach, it's seen somehow, or I don't know, yeah.
So now,
and then the reason to interject, and the reason I'm asking this because of I see like a lot of sometimes the people I engage with in my circle, you find that the men, sometimes respond with anger or respond or you know what I mean, and you find that you're not even dealing about the issue, you're dealing about some other things as well.
So now, so that's what I like. Now, personally, I don't think I engage a psychologist or one sorry, and it's because field of study initially was psychology.
Okay.
So that learning kind of makes me feel like I know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
That's the only reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in general, I think, but I've been in a situation where I needed to attend therapy with a partner.
Okay.
In a partner I had an intimate relationship with.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that so that showed me what the academic saga.
Yeah.
Proved exactly that. I was expecting what's gonna be said, what's gonna be happening, and everything.
Yeah.
So, just to sum it up, I would support Mutu if I need if I'm in a relationship, I'd go for marriage counseling. I'd go for, if mediaka in a left flop, I'd go for if when as a friend like Edgar Kida, psychologist thing out, if I can have someone familiar with me violent, I would go with you.
Okay.
But not personally, can the flop. I wouldn't engage psychology or therapy because I studied tabata psychology, therapy. I studied social sciences. So it's only for that reason.
Okay.
But I would support Jens going for it. Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't make you weak or anything. No,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's
So you do support that notion.
No,
right?
I do support
As
it
if men feel that they
if-
need to go that direction, you support it.
Yeah, if you feel you need to go that direction,
Yeah.
I so totally support
Okay.
it. Not just
So
personally,
you
I
believe,
wouldn't.
So you believe in psychologists?
I do. For Batwaba, yeah, for Batwaba. I do. I do. Mar myself,
Yeah.
nkasi psychology, nkasi for therapy, myself.
Okay.
You understand? Nkasi, yeah.
Is that
Mara,
because-
and then psychology lona ya differ.
You said that was because of the educational background.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because I studied
It's not because of you don't.
because the person sitting across the therapist is what I studied.
So
Yeah,
ba
sort of.
rutehileng a ba tlhoke thuto.
No, not gore ba ba rutehileng.
Yeah.
Mara because ke ithutile yona that
So, how
specific
tlhoke
that
thuto?
specific thing. It's kind of like it's a psychologist thing. I know who o tlo
The
mpotsang. I know the steps because I studied
I
that.
beg to differ. I hear you.
You one swara, but
I hear you,
it's
but
also
I get
it's
it.
an opinion as well. It's
No,
like
no,
one swara.
no.
It's like maybe I'll tell a mechanic. I guess believe ko ya ko mechanic o mong for koloi ya hae. Ke mechanic. So o tlo te mechanic la koloi ya hae.
Ka o tlhaloganya, mara
Wa
example
understand?
eo, ebile example eo ke yona ke e ratang.
Yeah.
Because koloi ha e bolele. Wa bona like if ke mechanics,
Yeah.
if o mechanic,
Yeah.
o itse gore tools e bereka bjang. Wa
Yeah.
bona tlhaloganyo. Tlhaloganyo a e tshware le motšhini. A se
So nna ke a te
computer
psychology,
as-
ke a te
as-
psychology
as a
myself.
computer press enter.
So now I studied psychology. Get the psychology.
Ka o
myself.
tlhaloganya.
Yeah.
And this is what makes it a bit difficult.
Yeah.
I'll use a stat. For example, bare, we use only less than 10% of our brains.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
Right? Something
Mm.
like that. It's
Yeah.
a lie, Ukane.
Mm.
A human being uses less than 10% of
In
it.
their lifetime.
Like in general.
Oh, okay.
Solving situations. Lebo di IQ test. They are about
Yeah.
IQ. La lebo ka na, what.
Yeah.
And then now, even emotionally, ne? It's not like, or this filter, it's so complicated how a person's brain, emotions, and whatever is operate,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like psychology and learning about it, it's all these principles and steps, right?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
where we want to
Yeah.
But I've been to psychology, and with certain psychologists that you like, hey, but what gifted? They use the steps, ne?
Yeah.
Mara,
They apply it
where I
differently.
got to answer certain questions for myself. Here, this thing, man. It's that person is such a. I think most psychologists that are gifted and understand their work, it's not for them to come up with a solution for you,
Yeah.
and that's why I appreciate psychology.
Yeah.
For people that have went numerous times,
Yeah.
like me, right?
Yeah.
Kore, the best psychologists and gifted ones are the ones that get you to a point where you answer yourself.
Yeah.
Or ent like gelale flow, almost get toxic, but they never actually tell you, Kore, this is what I want you to. They actually unlock certain doors for you,
Oh, okay.
and that's why I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not a weakness; it's actually a strength.
Yeah.
It's an art.
No,
think-
I'm totally
and I
saying
think they're
now
so
it's
skilled.
not a weakness.
And I think they're so
Yeah.
skilled, and I agree on a more.
Yeah.
But I think it's very important as well to get advice and get to those people through psychology, but not just as an qualification, but also as a gift.
Yeah.
And kopo ya ko pele ka yona,
Yeah.
to say hore, I think in life there's one thing that we need to get to a point to, and I think it helps much better ka pay. Hore, me being a marketer, for example, and doing sales and whatever, I believe hore I was a marketer before marketing was a subject.
Okay.
You see, once you start identifying people that are so skilled at what they do,
And gifted.
and you'll start appreciating psychology. Or this
Okay.
guy was a psychologist. This guy is cold, and
Yeah.
everything it's healing after through scale.
Yeah.
It's actually complementing what they actually were, and you appreciate it much better.
Okay.
So I think,
Yeah,
I think
Kya o tshwara,
so,
kya o
so,
tshwara.
so if I hear you correctly,
Mm.
you said in your statements you've seen a psychologist, right?
numerous
Numerous.
times and different ones.
and
Some were bad, some were great.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
feel it has worked for you.
Some worked, some didn't.
Some
Okay,
didn't,
some
yeah.
didn't. Okay, so you feel it's something that works generally
If you go to the right,
if you go to the right practitioner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
it takes. Leona get trial.
Would you encourage someone to try it out?
I'd encourage for someone to try it out, provided that they actually do a bit of. They don't just go to a random person.
Okay.
It's one like a
But
For
how
example,
but how would they know though?
That's what it's one of the communities area. It's very good to ask.
Mm.
You comment, you ask. Chat
Okay.
and friends.
I'll-
It's important. It's one like you know, churches is great, but
Yeah.
there are churches more about but but ba rola mo di-greening, re
Yeah,
makatsa,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
A beautiful thing can be just destroyed.
Yeah.
But a community like us, beer chats, ra commenta, ra advisana, ra
This
thusana,
one,
pothole,
100%.
1, 2, 3,
100%.
and then ra ba
I love
monate.
it.
Yeah.
100%.
That's why we started this.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know tsheya fela, mara ra thusa.
Yeah. Ha re thusaneng, akere, ha re tshwaraneng, akere.
Exactly.
No, 100%. Edgar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ke agree hore.
Mara e ba o noka,
No.
1,500 every time. Oh,
But you know what?
psychology ya bereka.
But you know also, as Edgar said, sometimes yeah, I believe psychologist does work. But as Edgar said, sometimes it's like he believes in marriage counseling or he believes in
So I'm saying I do believe in
Yeah,
in-
you believe.
but personally.
No, I won't. Yeah. According
yeah.
to what you said, yeah. So and according to how I heard Edgar properly, sometimes a good friend helps as well. A good relationship helps as well. Sometimes sometimes you find that hore. If you find yourself in the right circle of friends, that helps as well. So so we believe, and we've got a friend who's a psychologist as well. So we definitely, who's very close to me at Gale Ferrari. So I mean, we believe in psychology in general. You know what I mean?
Marola le ba bang ba o noka.
Ho na le ba bang ba o noka.
Let's not avoid.
Yeah.
Ola le ba bang ba
That's
tlo
why.
tseya 1.5
That's why.
yao.
That's why. That's why.
Tshwara
Let's.
le doctor. Futhi
Yeah.
yao e sa phone.
That's why let's help each other.
1,500
That's why let's help each
wins,
other. Mo di commenting re bolele hore
Hey, re bobetse.
comment.
E jokile
Re
ho bolla
robetse,
ka di-doctor tse tsa
Ha o
ono
bala
ka
ka mona.
ho bolla ka di-doctor tse tsa ono ka batho e joke na le like story ke re sana le nakonyana ne.
I know.
So many years ago, like many years ago, I think Nixali student nyana or something. No, next Thomas Pananyana.
Okay.
The only I've only had an STI once, like drop or wanna drop
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
ever once in my life,
Yeah.
and that. So I think of like the doctors out. I found I saw like an honest doctor, a lady doctor. I know. So I've move on Saturday, Sunday.
Unique or beautiful. No, I'm playing.
Quality. Quite funny. Na go joke so call like list to next time 30 minutes sharp. Wait.
Yeah.
Ke hlabatamo.
What's up, guy?
Ke hlabatamo ke thakala le tlamo. Mo Pitori mo town ne ile home base ka le tlhana le nako home base.
Yeah.
Ke shatlamo. It was a Sunday. Wa bona sharpo. Bila like a prosthetic sex sharpo. Monday me brag sorry but ke nangala le dai condoms a dikiri wa kana ai feti kirang ke face oncoming ke tsena live
You know.
ka le manexa le student so when stories a ke zo tshwantse ke spolele lapha anyway so shapo bo mamande ke thomo ya ke spanning ke thomo feel uncomfortable nyana wa bona sala tsara drop
Some pain.
sala tsara drop
I can't know as I can swear.
awitsi aworo ska eat enga tsara please anyway mara tsera that time fair shapo Tuesday night drop ga re thomo tla ka matla man me bra like so drop and I'm sure there's chances
So
like,
pain, severe pain.
no it's not pain it's discomfort
Oh.
it's not pain it's discomfort
Wait.
you get it you like have a discharge
Yeah.
so okay if I can go deeper on the Monday when I went to the toilet to take a piss it was a bit sticky just a bit
Okay.
sticky you know when you're
Yeah.
pulling out your thing it's a bit
Yeah,
sticky
yeah.
okay sharp I take a 6-9 sharp and I don't know because I don't know this thing and I don't understand what's going on sharp and then so it gets the discharge becomes more and more as time goes because it's building up right on Tuesday now when I put it out like it's really stuck to me in the morning in fact when I wake up I don't understand what's going on. Okay, but just to cut a long story short, by Thursday, like I was really messed up. Like, and it's uncomfortable because it's itchy. But it's that nice itch where you
Yeah, go to her.
So then I knew so go spanning why it's plus in spana courier company at the time. The spana le magrot man ma time. Baba all closely bona nyana ke thomo consult that is uncle ke na le o ka re ke na le jive man. Bontsware le doba ke eng ne me bra. Hire ha so damana ra ene o tshwere ke drop. Shit. Okay. So when ho lo so tshwantse hira haleng. So why my time it's man go spanning le my time magrot. Maybe at the time maybe he's in his 60s. Ke thaba le grot street was una le bana ba majita obviously na. Ke majita le gore le wena vele o confident mo wena bona. Wa bo tsoro nyara la ka o itse keng holo so. O tlo nida gore o ye doctoring. Wa ntshwara e ya doctoring o bona o di bereka bang go doctoring after doctor kopelo o e monna because di go test di na le le Sotho vie tshwantse re bereke Sotho ha wa ntshwara
Yeah.
Okay
sharp tsona go tsela mebra le bo di medical aid next no spanning yana o bona mara fere ke go doctor nyana mathomo hona pataono I doctor patela di bo di tutlipa tsena go tso tutlipa ke zake ba me price like raised 1,000 hore ke doctoring in those days doctor ela imputso rene o uncheck o tshwere ke drop le nyora la ke ampe di antibiotic one swara ke be sharp medic jola le ona at the time ke mele wa bona ke follow nyana for 3 weeks sene dilo tsa ka di sharakane vie one swara doctor engwe hape same wa bona chemisting no di antibiotics tsela ke re ke di bone no ke khono di mogola straight go chemisting ke a di reka ke ba sharp 2 weeks after 2 weeks nyalo tsa ka di a sharakane.
Are you keep on going to the same person or
no, eventually I saw the antibiotics now so I found a way to get them chemisting straight
for this thing to come back. Do you keep on having
no that was the once of but now I've got like a steady girlfriend that I'm with and this is like bad because this is what we put each other through, you know what I mean? I've got a steady girlfriend so eventually like Joe after like a month or so of suffering and spending money on this shit I go to some doctor like dude I'm suffering so this guy tells me like so are you in a relationship? I am in a relationship. It's like no but Joe these doctors you've been going to are not being fair to you. One swara you've taken this thing you've inserted it into your girlfriend right they're not telling you this so now you keep going to these doctors they're taking your money they're giving you antibiotics but you're going again and you're taking it again from media and a momeding I trying to mom cheating where they see it they feel it one swara so I'm getting this medical help from doctor ke lata via bomescard me bra one swara so this guy tells me no doc the only way you're gonna sort this out we need to rope in your girlfriend she must come with you we must heal both of you Horubesha
yo
why understand or ke bokae
no tsa no bolela hore
tshwantse ke explain le my loving hore
Situation ke.
so so damano so nereta mo point ya hore some people just but not ya nyugo they stubborn like lady doctor say sometimes so one it was 2 different doctors that messed me up without being honest to the doc now you've given this thing to your partner and now Oshab will give you antibiotics they'll cure you for a week or 2 but you're going to take it back
I think we quality
so the doctor says to me lenyora laga I'm not gonna do anything. Little consultation because I can see you're a student. I can see Joe, you're a young kid. Doc, the only way I'm gonna be honest and treat you is if you come with your girlfriend.
I'm sure about them.
No, the money para till today. Joe, this is like next student. Maybe 2007, 2008. Kale. That doctor ke sana lo mona le no ra grutana like ke le pare ke doctor he's been in the same surgery so da bana mputsa okay le doba ke a bona you student le di nyukunyana tso di tshwereng ke a bona re tswa hasela me bra I'm not gonna ask you to tell your girlfriend what's going on just get your girlfriend to come with you and I'll take it from there. That's what the guy said to me.
That's what happened.
Yeah, he's like, just tell her we need to go to the doctor together. And then once you guys are here, I'll take it. Obviously now, uga se explain mo thori ke rile mawaza ko ntle no ko lwa di se itsera lwa understand uno mpotsa hore me bra if you can get her here I'll take it from there. Your relationship is safe as long as when you can get her here. Find a story to get her here with you, we okay.
100%.
Sure.
I don't know what lame story I came with. For some reason, doctoring, at the time I believe, or okay, Shapra Contanga. Tagajo came up with some theory, language, the doctor. I find the antibiotic really too. I find the antibiotic really too. We took that stuff for like 2 weeks, and that's how I was cured.
And she was cured.
When we were okay. And she never found out.
200 rand well spent.
You know what I mean? And it's back to the point where you're saying some of these professionals, but not they are new with by in the business they are new.
Sure.
Da mane me bra rabeta e jonero ho putsara mo funde bo le dipidisi me panikile mawaza. And then after the western way ya dipidisi the antibiotic that time o la go spanning ka motsa re jo ke bethile treatment yana go so ka mo tlhalosetsa the whole story bila bona ampotse re jo hona le mail fee ka go dlaleng time out sa phela eng ka re no time out teng bo ankele ba tla re ne a re me bara tshwara time phone la time la hao o mmotsa re hira hetseng he's gonna know what he needs to do. So you imagine when on ke thube call to time gore me bra ke bile le STI ke bile le drop ke thube call I think it was a Friday thube le damane call ke mmotsa re jo ke na le arajo hlaba base o tle hae di piste tsa mara ba statsa ya seabuso hlabe base ke edlading ntanga Saturday through antse ankise go time le leng bo mama metlhake thama la lempethele mkhambi ke no mkhambi there was it.
Yo.
Hey. Esa saka la tshwara ke drop.
Maybe I get it
like Western stuff. It's not cultural, interesting.
It's interesting, yeah. And
I've never even heard like
because you're not a fodile. And the time I like to go in a jo like put a fruit nyane tshwana le beetroot. I kata ya pe ya ira just soponyana I drank. Yeah, and that was it. Okay, yeah.
When I pay blind, go to a copy and paste. Go to situation is allows a well, go get a beetroot or
no, the man Tamela and Pila gets lurking. Marajo, I really had to tell Tamam Putis or Javiking, and I had to explain to him right. Had like faced oncoming somewhere. I was so. And Tangarvile Vele Ravaya Rayago Ish. So, who are the professionals telling Huri? Dr. Ella, if I hadn't met him that occasion, I was probably gonna go to 6 doctors, but the consultation fee, person twos.
Okay.
I know.
No, I guess it's an appeal. I guess it's also an appeal to young professionals.
But it's good advice. A young professional.
No, it's good. It's life experiences.
I wouldn't get it. It's also appeal to.
It's life experiences. I experienced it, and yeah, man.
No, I wouldn't get it. It's an appeal to young professionals that are in medicine and all of those.
Yeah, like
just to be always legit, to be professional, to be work ethical, sharp, transparent.
Yeah. Babang by maybe I say ethic. It's just like being maybe babang by be like it's streetwise.
Yeah, street.
Or academic. For fella, mutwa drop mufa antibiotic. Mara oil ngoro experience why it's or if demand we deposit mo meding ya hae tshwantse ke cure le medi before anything.
Yeah, but I'm speaking under general now to those doctors that do it intentionally.
Yeah,
like, go to no
I would hate to believe what some of them do it intentionally. Do you think so?
Someone can fake to being a doctor. You know what I mean? That's how malicious people can be. Yeah, that's really. I don't.
Taking like 200 rands from a student every month.
Yeah. But it's a gift being a doctor, so we appreciate them. You know what I mean? So, but I'm just saying, those that ruin this industry for those, you know what I mean? Yeah, people need help. Yeah, man. Great conversations today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Dimitri, would you like to say anything to say
big ups, man,
to the audience?
Bona, more community, beer chats with friends, Renyaga Lona, Bastrata, last week we had a guest, Bastrata, also / professional. That's what we want in our group. Renyaga, all kinds of experts. I'm not only experts,
rejuvenated.
We need that advice because, like that thing, okay, how do we navigate?
Yeah.
You know, how do we navigate? Where do I go to attend the right church? I want to know God.
Yeah.
Where do I go to have a good plate of food? Seven colors. The plate is one of the episodes. Hey, the plate is we need that advice. So dear chat with friends is about that.
But I think because of the positive vibe, it emphasizes more on the good ones.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But even I get while we're highlighting good ones.
Yeah.
We don't want to badmouth anyone. But I think this community is about that. How engaging, how we monate in every way. How tipane, how tusane. Babambala di flopota. Kela chumi ngola le flopea drinking and driving. What DUI? Bamutswere mama tsia monwana mapodisa nya ka 7 town bara gore ba latle case You know, those are some of the things that we need to discuss. Or hey,
how serious is like drinking and
no,
driving?
Leona, the what we were having conversation, it's more because na but basically he was asking me, Artumisho, Pansoere do drinking under the influence, but Zermenoana or Robete, go drunk. So get about 3 weeks ago. Makatabanya 7,000.
7 block
Yeah, Balola case.
Yeah.
So I'm from a moral dilemma. It's either I keep this record, yes, I did wrong, or kinsa 7,000. It's a common thing, Mama police saying, or if you are 7,000
Yeah.
So he asked me, and I was like, hey, from a moral standing, because I get more situation, corruption, I right. But the reality, it hit differently because this is a friend that I know. It's here. I'm on newspaper.
Yeah.
One Bozorjo, it might prevent me from getting other jobs. Where I am now, even if they knew a criminal record, I can even lose this job.
7 block.
Those are realities. But be a check with
friends, 7 block.
About
No, the moral. Yeah, because then I had to man and the moral sign. No, but that's the Tanga 7 block.
And I think he's a subscriber.
She's a subscriber. Tanga ba guy wana lenyora la ka. O ta recalculate the morals o le sharp. For no ba guy lenyora la guy.
Guys, anything you would like to say?
Nah, gents, it's all good. Everything's chilled, man.
Yeah. Okay. Same bye to the audience.
Guys, yeah, no, man. Thanks for tuning in. The comments, more comments would be nice, man. Like, right? We had a little later on and stuff. So yeah, commenting, are vibing. Let's keep it positive, guys. No drama.
Okay. No. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you a lot. Kind of getting. It was great conversations today. Great conversations today. Kind of getting. I think I've learned a lot. Just I refreshed my mind about other things. You know what I mean? Such as just make sure that when you go to a health profession, make sure potholes. Be careful of the potholes on the road. You know what I mean? Also let's as Edgar said, let's build ourselves. Let's build ourselves before, and let's strive to be happy before we can make someone happy. I think those are the things I picked up on the trailer. And don't forget, guys, my book is out, From Popular to Pariah, Life in the Shadow of My Corporate Bully. So yeah, if you want a copy, we'll definitely give you guys details about this book. And I think, from now I'm just focusing on the next project, and from myself, from Edgar, from Tumisho, I think, you guys can see that we are driven this year to just be out there. So be on the lookout for us, So yeah, I'd just like to appreciate and share your comments about the topic of today to build an engagement so that we can know what you guys think, Yeah, man. Let's go out and celebrate. It's a Saturday night. I feel like dancing. So can we be out, Edgar?
No, let's go and play with the other kids.
Let's go play with other kids, right?
Yeah.
Guys, until next time. Shabara.